I know that I can't alone change the world, but through one student at a time, I do change the world. In a lot of professions, you can't say you do that every single day. Kids want to learn. Like, there's something inside of them that, you know, a teacher just has to be an artist and try to help them master. So I was a long-term substitute when I didn't know anybody, and it was, I remember it was the first day, and it was kind of like scary a little bit because you don't get the fall semester to get used to the students, so you kind of just jump into this environment.
Long-term subs kind of have that history where it's like, okay, the class is going to kind of mess with you. It's just going to kind of be like a slack-off class, kind of.
There's this one kid that kind of stood out, was sitting in the back, and instantly he raised his hand.
Like, you know, I wanted to do well in that class, and I was kind of nervous that if I had a long-term sub, I wasn't able to work to my full potential.
He wanted to help me out. He saw that nobody else had raised their hand and answers the question. I say, "Thank you," in your name, and he says, "Joe Tillery."
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
My name is Aaron Dean, and this is my moment. You don't know what people are going through in their lives. I was a sub going in, and they didn't tell me what was going on with Joe. And you couldn't tell by Joe's emotions, you know? He was so happy, upbeat.
To me, honestly, that's just, I try to make that my way of life, whether it's about homework or anything, really.
Joe walks in the room, he made Mondays feel like Fridays. He's had that love of learning that you don't always see. I actually had a lady come in and talk to me, and she said, "Joe's been out of school a while," and I said, "Yeah, where's Joe been?" Because I was concerned and I cared about him, you know, already, and it had only been a couple weeks. And she said that he was in the hospital with cystic fibrosis. You know, instantly it kind of struck my heart.
It's a lung disease, and usually I have to wake up 3 hours earlier than I normally would every day just to do breathing treatments and special lung exercises to clear my lungs and just feel better and make it through the day okay.
You know, sometimes as a teacher and with high school kids, they just kind of have in their minds a rebel attitude where whatever you teach me, I'm not going to learn it. Well, Joe, you know, he was a kid who wanted to be at school so bad and wanted to have that normal climate of seeing his classmates. Even getting homework for him and being able to do it was a milestone, and that was something that a lot of kids take for granted.
I don't really see a way where anyone should give up in their situation. You know, as long as you keep fighting, you can do anything.
Seeing everything that he'd gone through really inspired me and made me think, no matter what happens today, my day's going to be okay because of that kid if I see him in my classroom and he's in that seat.
It's my life, you know, I have to live it. I'm not going to let anything slow me down, whether it's a terminal illness or whether it's, you know, whatever, not going my way. I get up for those who can't.
Having a student like Joe who wants to learn, even though he's going through all of that, it's a pretty powerful thing. I think Joe made other kids think, you know, maybe there's something inside of them too that can inspire and help others.
Inside of every kid is a student who wants to do their best and study and do great in school. And it just takes the right teacher to bring that out of them.
Joe made it so I realized that every student can learn and wants to be nourished and wants to do well in life. I want to give everything I have to the kids every day, and I want to be that one teacher that they remember 30 years from now.
You know, you don't go into a class expecting your teacher to be amazing.
First place, right here.
I mean, there's a lot of amazing teachers, but there's only one Mr. Dean. He was truly the best teacher I've ever had.
Good job on the win. Thanks for coming in and working hard.
Joe, you know, was just a kid I knew who would always stick with me. You know, through all the teaching years, there's a few that stick with you, and Joe Tillery's one of my kids. He will stick with me.